Shout out to Jason. Shout out to Rachel.
Okay, first of all, hi Jason. Wow, you have been in the Big Brother world for so long and you're incredible. Rachel Riley, you are my queen. We love women in STEM. And I would love to meet you guys one day.
What's up, Jason and Rachel? Such an honor to be chatting with you both. Y'all are amazing and fantastic in so many ways. Honored to be here. Looking forward to the questions.
Rachel, I had my Rachel moment under the bushes, but mine was under the stairs. So shout out to you. I totally understand now how you felt.
Okay, so Tiffany can relate. Where was your moment?
I think my moment was behind the trash cans. I'm a trash can crier.
Yeah. Everybody had to find places to go. She's just talking about needing that moment to almost just break down because you've had so much with this game and it was overwhelming. Was that what happened with you?
Oh, 100%. Like there's a time when your brain is just like done and you just need to go cry. And for me, I just like wanted somewhere where the cameras wouldn't see me crying, which ended up being even more hilarious because of course the cameras catch you crying everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere. I think that's always what people are so shocked about is that they even put one where the toilet is because they don't want people having a spot where they say, oh, well, we could go in that area and talk about something that the producers don't know or strategize or, romance could bud or whatever. They want it all captured on all those cameras in that house. So we've got the first half of the cookout here on the Secret Alliance, as we've seen Tiff, Hannah, and Kai now added to the jury. And when we talk about Tiff, she really was seemingly this, glue that brought the cookout together. She had a lot of great ideas about how they would have these side alliances. And, it was really tough to watch her go as the first member of the cookout to the jury.
I was so sad. Like, I really was rooting for her to win. I felt like she had played the game the whole season. Like she's really one of the people that made the cookout. She was one of the people that we were always rooting for because she was a comp beast. She was in people's heads strategically. She saw things when nobody else did. And I thought that was really like, she really had this gameplay where it was just something that, I don't know, something about her, she knew what was going on. I really appreciated her about that. She reminds me of Danielle. I need Danielle on here.
I know, and we're putting it out to her. She said at some point she's going to do this. So even if we have to do a special Secret Alliance episode weeks and months from now to catch up with Danny, yeah, she's the a founding member of the real Secret Alliance from season 3, and now what's continued on. And it's so cool to see how these alliances year after year, season after season are so important to the game. And, I think that's why Tiffany was so important in my mind in season 23. And so we talked to her about all of that and how she felt and maybe if she would have changed anything about her game. So take a listen.
I definitely feel that sticking with the cookout and having to nominate Clarence in her home was the best move for my game. I definitely wanted to get the 6-6. In no way would I ever want to be responsible for us not making it there. That was definitely important for my own personal reputation and for the reputation of the cookout and my BB name in history. Absolutely. If creating the master plan labels me as the architect of the cookout, I'll accept that. I think we all had a part to play. I am not going to minimize the master plan effect of the cookout getting to where we got to. I feel very honored that it came through me. I was just the vessel that the message came through. I was definitely being used in that moment to get us somewhere. I'm glad that I was able to share that with everyone that was in the cookout and they were able to accept it and we were able to actually use it and it benefited us. I feel truly honored that honored that I was able to come up with something like that, but I don't think that it was me at all. If I could say anything to Kyland and Xavier, since I am not their I think they are two phenomenal young Black men doing great things in their life outside of this house. Even if I don't truly know what those things are, I look at the character that they exhibit and I think that they are amazing men. I would like to tell them to stick together. And I said that before I left. If they sit in the final two together, I think that's a beautiful final two. I would definitely love for Hannah to stay in the house. And if she could stay and get in the middle of Kyland and Xavier, if those two don't take each other, maybe one of them will take her. Following me out, Derek F.
We all love Tiffany, and I really predict that we will see her again. I think she's going to be back for another season. The question is, I wonder if she'll do another season.
Yeah, it's always a question that we like to pose to some of the outgoing Big Brother contestants. I really think that she would like another shot at it. And could you imagine if she and Claire ended up in that house together? Because I feel like they really did have something special. They would be dangerous.
They did, but would it be the same? Because although Claire says she no hard feelings, I get it, I understand. I don't think she's going to trust her again. I think every time we say we're going to go back with someone and be in an alliance, it never happens. Look at Danielle and Janelle. Danielle Donato and Janelle in All Stars. They had promised each other they would work together. And in All Stars, they were their biggest enemies. You know what I mean? Like Danielle was going after Janelle. Janelle wanted Danielle out. It was so weird.
Yeah, I guess you're right with all of that. And it would be certainly an interesting dynamic. And I think it would put a target on their backs because people would look at Claire and Tiffany and say, oh yeah, they've got to be working together, even if they were seemingly, at each other the whole season. So it's something that maybe we haven't seen the last of Tiffany with her Big Brother story. You know what that's like. You've come back, and that maybe her second time is the one for the win, right?
I'm hoping. I mean, honestly, same thing like we saw with Danielle. We always want to root for them the second time, and I wonder if Tiffany is going to be able to come back and play that same kind of game, or if she would have to change it up. But yes, I would root for her, and I would love to see her again.
Yeah, it is really tough when you played a game a certain way and everybody watched it. I feel like you have to shift up your gameplay. You've still got to be true to who you are and how you're going to play. Otherwise, it's really hard to go that route because it's just not instinctually you. But I think it would be interesting if she did something different and really threw everybody off if she got a chance to play again. Boy, I'm hoping for that. One of the things that we'll talk about with Tiffany is America's favorite player. And we're making some predictions for the finale because, that's a huge thing. So even if you watch this after the finale is aired, it's interesting to see what Rachel and Jason have to say about it. Our next contestant that came out the very same night as Tiff during a double eviction was Hannah. And she's, Rachel, all about STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. And she had a little shout out to you. Isn't that cool to see a fellow?
I love that. I'm always surprised when not that they shouldn't know me, because if I was going on a show, I would research the winners, but I'm always surprised when they know like little details, like crying in the bushes.
Yeah, they really watched. So let's get to Hannah and some of the questions that we had for her about her game, and if anything might go differently if she had made a couple of different strategic changes to her gameplay.
I think that Azah, I don't want to discredit her at all because every single member of the six had their own part to play. Azah, along with myself, appeared to be more laid back and passive in our gameplay than some of the other members of the Cookout, and that is okay. All of us could not be active, aggressive players. Where I think Azah shined is her emotions. I mean, she did, because I like to approach things from a very logical, pragmatic, rational standpoint. She was the one who was able to reel me in and be like, okay, we're dealing with human beings here. Let's try to use empathy and let's try to consider our emotions and other people's emotions. So she was a good balance in that sense. And then also her fighting with Tiffany and her fighting with Kyland probably caused people to doubt whether the six was actually working together because of how contentious our dynamics were with each other. Kai has a final two with X. And in order to ensure that X brings Kai needs to sandwich someone in the middle that X would not be tempted to take. If that person were Azah or myself, X would probably take us over Kai. So Kai needed to ensure that X stayed and I went home, and Azah's probably going to be next. I think that Kai and Big D are a lot more committed to the guys than X is. But Kai had the power with the veto. And he didn't want to take any chances of losing X because in his opinion, X is the only person that's worthy enough to sit next to him. Sticking with the cookout probably wasn't the best move for my BB game. I mean, or maybe it was, I don't know. Who knows how far I would have gotten without the cookout. I'm pretty proud of my performance. I was able to make Final 5 in a historic season. I mean, I should have kept DX. I should have kept Claire. I should have kept Alyssa. We should have sent X home, but I was way more committed to the mission of getting the cookout to Final 6 than I was of winning this game. And maybe that's a sign of disrespect to the game. I really hope it's not interpreted that way. But me, along with the other 5 members of the cookout, really just wanted to guarantee that a Black person would win this season. And because we were able to accomplish that, I can't be bitter and I can't be sad.
She is super charming. So likable. And, you know, you think she's sitting in a hotel room right after her eviction, talking into a camera on Zoom. And she is just so engaging with those question answers. I felt like it's so, I mean, Hannah, the future is onward and upward for you. And keep in mind, she's still really young. I believe just a grad student. So in her early 20s. Right. And part of this historic cookout and to have done as well as she did in Big Brother season 23, just great stuff. And maybe somebody's going to vote for her as America's favorite player because she's so likable. All right, let's move on to Kai. Somebody else who's likable. I feel like there were so many likable players in this season.
The cookout had, I think, so many likable players. And then, of course, there was like Derek. I mean, everyone was likable the whole season. Even Frenchie, going all the way back. I really liked Frenchie. But yeah,
a special place in our heart just because he made it crazy from the start.
100%, and that's, as a viewer, what you want to see. But Kyland for me is so likable. Everyone liked him. I don't think you can meet Kyland or talk to him or watch a video of him for more than 5 seconds and not fall in love with this guy and want to root for him. So it's just like, I don't know how that Xavier was able to turn on him in the end. I think, what he said it best is that he didn't really think he could have done much to change his game around because they kind of already had it in for him. It was going to be him versus Xavier. It's just one of those things. But, Kyland, he's another one I could definitely see back on another season.
Okay. I really like this. If Rachel Riley goes ahead and casts another Big Brother, this is you're putting this great cast together. This is going to be amazing. And one of the things I think maybe that X realized, and you're going to see it in this interview with Kai, is when he flashes those pearly white, his smile, you're just like, yeah, you're right. So if he had that opportunity to sit there and give that to the jury, I mean, it's all over and done for. You're just like, okay, whatever he's selling, I'm buying.
Literally, I couldn't imagine being a jury member voting for Kyland versus Xavier in the end because they just played such great games. So I think that there's 3 standouts for me this whole season was Tiffany, Kyland, and Xavier that would have been final 3 goals, right? Those 3 would be people you don't want to take. And he says, you want to compete against the best people in the end. So that kind of made me think, well, why did you get rid of Tiffany? Why did he wanted to compete against the best people, so he got rid of Tiffany. So of course, that's going to happen to him in the end. They're going to get rid of the best people because it is, again, just playing Big Brother for $750,000.
Yeah, it's a huge cash prize that coincidentally this year is growing to that $750K. It's huge, and you don't mess around. And Xavier turned off his brain from oh, I like these people, I want to be their friend and all that, and went lawyer mode. And he's just looking for end results and getting it done. And he knew if I put Kai, and this is the lawyer in Xavier going, if I put Kai in front of this jury, I may lose that jury. And so it was a lawyer thinking about a jury in that moment when he was like, Kai, you got to go. And you're going to
Yeah.
just watch for this Kai interview and that smile. And you're just like, okay, yeah. It's over and done with.
Literally,
It's like, you know why he made it on the show and why he could have won this thing if he sat there in the final two chairs. And we did ask him, though, about what he said to X in those final moments walking out of the house when Julie was, let's go. So here's what he had to say about everything regarding his eviction.
At the end of the game, you guys know how it goes. There is always a possibility of you going home. So even when Xavier and Derek told me that I didn't need to thoroughly pack all my things, I knew that the probability was high. And though in weeks past, I had followed that advice, this time I made sure my suitcase was full because I had figured that there was a high probability of someone making that easier decision to get to the end of the game. And on top of that, I did tell Derek F directly that that would be his better strategic decision if he had the opportunity. The only thing was I kind of made a bet on Xavier valuing the same, principles, the same sort of tactics that I did as far as who would be the best type of winner for this season. Since we're gonna have the first Black winner, representation is everything. And I had bonded with him over specific things that I value. And I thought we match up in them. We didn't. And I knew that was always a possibility. People had told me that. And that's why I was going for the HOH and veto. But unfortunately, I didn't win them. And I thought I'd be good enough to win on my own terms this season. I was one comp away, but I didn't make it. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. But I'm good with the decisions that I made there. When I think about the exit exchange with Xavier, my biggest concern, I guess, would be around anyone not taking into consideration the actual words that I said. That's my invitation, is me and Xavier talked in depth about valuing competitors such as like a Goku or Kobe Bryant, people who are known for facing their competitors head on, going toe to toe. And that is kind of that epic showdown that I was looking forward to and committed to at the end. And I told people going into, especially the last few weeks, I was like, yo, if Xavier still looks like the best competitor in the game as far as that combination of social, strategic competitions, that's who I'm going to drag with me to the end if I have the opportunity. Even if he says up front, hey, I'm going to cut you as soon as I get, I was like, good luck. And clearly he was able to do it because he beat me in those last HOH and veto. But if we look at our track record of competitions, if I could have won one of those and made it to the end, I had a high probability of beating him out in that last HOH. So I am disappointed that I didn't make it there. But as far as the exchange, all I did was I brought up the specific conversations that we had in the specific context that we had them in. Had I known, or did I know that it would still trigger him a little bit in terms of getting under his skin? Of course I did. But did I intentionally choose words that objectively did not disrespect his character or his family as a whole? I also did that. So that's my invitation, is look at the words. As soon as I have the opportunity, I'll do the same. If I am at all incorrect about my word choice and I was not as objective as I believe I was given those words, then of course I apologize to him and his family. But as far as crossing any lines, I think that as long as my specific words were addressing that context and our previous conversations, I'd be okay with that. As far as Big D and me, I love him. And for the record, I love Xavier, Azah, the same. But when I look at Big D and him asking me about our final two, I knew that I had a choice to make. I knew that I could decide, since I have a good shot at getting to the end of the game, that was final four, still had a veto to play, and had a pretty good competition record. I knew that I was committed to if I could get to the end of the game and win the game, I wanted to do it on my own terms. And those terms for me this specific season would have been a more like epic, forthcoming sort of gameplay. That's what I did with my nominations during my HOHs. And that's what I did in terms of follow through with the things that I said I would do. I said that I would bring competitors further in the game. I did that. I was upfront about my targets. Even in my week 6, I let them know I was doing something obtuse. And then at final 6, same thing, no backdoor plans, no sort of indirect play. I was like, hey, I want to be like as straight shooting as possible. That was, for me, an opportunity to not just have our first Black winner, but have somebody who played the game on their own terms instead of giving into some of the other moves that are perfectly respectable by their own rights, just not the way that I wanted to win if I was going to be the first Black winner of Big Brother. And I knew that I could, manipulate Big D's emotions and lie to him and tell him no, but like for him, I told him straight up, I was like, yo, if you have that opportunity strategically, you should keep Azah over me. I was just hoping to keep him from getting the opportunity. But obviously X1 gave him the opportunity to take the shot, and Big D followed my advice and took the shot to increase his odds, because everyone has the things they value. And some people like value winning by any means over winning by a particular means. And in another season, that would be me. But this season, since it was all about representation for me, this is the way I chose to play, and I wouldn't change it, even knowing what I know now. The only thing I would have done differently is I would have won that last HOH or last veto competition to ensure my own safety to the end, as I had done previous weeks. So just came up short there. The Cookout Alliance is, to my knowledge, the most covert alliance of more than, probably 3 or 4 people that has ever played the game. Obviously, I could be wrong. We, as you know, we don't have access to internet and fact-checking sources as long as we're still part of the game. But the only alliance that I saw get close that was of that size was like the committee, and those were all stars, and they were in power almost every single week of their season. We had a lot of weeks where we didn't even have one of us as HOH, but we had positioned ourselves strategically to still have influence during those weeks. And being able to stay covert during all that time, even to where I would bring up like the possibility of a large alliance, secret alliance to some of my allies, and they would completely dismiss it as impossible. That was pretty cool, because we not just got our alliance to the end, but we did it unscathed, and we did it covertly. So when I think of legacy and the possibility of us being legendary, I don't think that there's any chance for us as individuals to reach that level yet, but us as a group, and we broke records. And that, I believe, can have us sit in a spot of legendary status, and I hope it does. And I'm very proud of what we did, because we knew that we had to prioritize that mission above any of our individual games, because all of us knew the importance of representation. And when you see someone who looks like you achieve at a high level in any format, especially a platform that has an audience as big as Big Brother, it is inspiring and reassuring, and does so much for your mindset. And the fact that we had a diverse group even within the Cookout, I think that we spoke to even more people. And that's something that I'm very proud of, and beyond being proud, I'm just super grateful to have been a part of it.
That's the smile.
That's the smile.
So many jury members.
I think he's convincing America to win America's favorite house guest.
A couple of things to unpack here. When it comes to Kai's interview, he didn't think that he said anything wrong to X as he walked out of the house. I don't know. Everybody on social media had a lot that they were weighing in. And when you start talking about kids and things, I feel like it really stirs up a lot of emotions for people.
I totally think so. This is the thing. So I saw all social media and the scandal that he has produced from this. But I think when you're feeling betrayed in the house, you're going out, you feel betrayed, you kind of want to throw that zinger in. And that was probably the only zinger that he could think of to really get under Xavier's, under his skin. And I understand when you're playing this game, it's so intense, it's so emotional. We've both been there. Though at that moment, you're so upset. Was it wrong? Yeah, he definitely shouldn't have said that. But, I'm putting myself in his shoes and giving him the grace to understand where he's coming from, because I've been there. And it's like, you know what, after this, they're going to be totally probably best friends again. It's not going to be a big deal. But
Really?
I think so. I think Xavier's not the type of person to hold a grudge. And obviously he's going to win. It's going to be all, what do they say? Bridge or under the water or something?
Water under the bridge.
Water under the bridge. Exactly. But
$750K in the bank. He's like, whatever. Yeah. Not even going to think about it again.
Right.
Yeah,
but I do wonder if that ruins Kyland's chances of winning America's Favorite House Guest, because people probably are not very happy about that.
Okay. So while we're bringing this up, who do you think it is for America's Favorite Player?
So the toss up between Derek X, I think everyone loves him. I still love him. He played such a good game and he was gone so soon. Then I think Tiffany, and then I was going to say Kyland, but I just feel like Kyland, with that comment to Xavier, is going to have a hard time to win. But the votes will be split because people are going to vote for Xavier. People are going to vote for Tiffany. They'll vote for Derek X. They'll probably be voting for Kyland. So it's going to depend on what the majority, what the majority votes for. But I think because Xavier wins, they usually don't give America's Favorite to the winner, right? Is that how it works?
Yes. Correct. Yeah. So it's whoever wins is out of the running for America's Favorite Player, and then it would go. Even if, let's say, X got the most votes, it would go to the next highest vote getter. I'll tell you, I put in a couple of votes for Tiff. I really feel like she's gonna win this. I think people, as fans of the show, maybe are looking at her as the architect, and she gave us so much good TV and a lot of great insight in the diary room. And yeah, I don't know, but again, as I've watched this season, there are so many likable players. When you think about a Hannah, a Kai, I do think that exchange between Kai and X may have lost some fans for him, but I don't know. We'll see. And so my prediction, maybe I'm going to go out on the limb here. America's Favorite Player for Tiff. You, I think, are leaning Derek X.
Well, no, I think, I don't know, because that's so hard. I think I am leaning more towards Tiffany, but because Derek X was out a little bit before her, but I am leaning toward, a lot of people on Twitter are saying Derek X. So I go by Twitter polls when I look, and then Twitter is really saying that they love Derek X, and then some people on Twitter are saying Tiffany. So I think it's going to be, I'm guessing, a toss up between them two. But then I think it'll be Kyland, Tiffany, and Derek X for the three. You know how Julia says, top three.
Julia will make it dramatic and tell us who the three top vote getters are. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to that in the big finale of Big Brother 23. And then, of course, let's put in our predictions for who we think will win this thing. Where are you leaning?
I mean, Derek F, Big D kind of has a no chance at all.
Okay, I was about to just lose it here, Rachel. You said that you thought that he was going to win this game. Yeah, there's no way. If he sits next to Azah or X, he walks away with second place.
Yeah,
he doesn't know yet he's playing for second place. I mean, maybe a little bit because of his record with comps, but he did a good job with his social game. That's why he made it to this point. You cannot discount he played a good game to make it to Final Three. He did something right. A lot of things right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But winning he did a lot of things wrong. He's my definition of a floater, but he's not technically the definition of a floater. I guess it depends if you go with the Rachel Riley definition or if you're going with the other definition, where a person goes from side to side of the house. My definition is, you didn't play the game. You hung out and sang Kumbaya all summer. You gave us some good TV. Nobody's ever going to forget e-voting or evicting, whatever he's saying. But
Well, he never got one of his evictions right. He was like, I to vote, evict, and then a name, or he always flipped it around. Like it was every week kind of this fun game of like, how's he going to mess the words up? You know, it's
100%.
I vote to evict and then a name.
Yeah. And I mean, we won't forget that, but he's not going to be someone that, and he'll get second place and he'll be that second place person that everyone's always like, yeah, like the Victoria of the season. And I mean, I feel bad saying that, but it's kind of true.
Okay.
So,
all right.
so I think Xavier is the, the easy choice here. He is the person to beat. The thing is, if there was a miracle and Big D or Azah took out Xavier in the final, and it was those two together, I still see Azah winning, because she's probably going to be the one that wins the final HOH to vote out Xavier. She has to, or she's has no chance. Does she want 750, or does she want the person that deserves to win? Like, coming down to numbers, you're in your head, you're going to bring the person that's going to make you win $750,000. So then she'll win.
You think?
Yeah, I would think. But I mean, otherwise, Xavier just played the best game, obviously.
Now, of course, Xavier is going to bring with him Derek F. That's a surefire win, don't you think? If Derek X, and Azah, there are who Xavier has to pick between. Xavier, let's say he wins that final HOH live on Wednesday night's finale. What do you think? Who does he take? I'd go with that he takes Derek F.
I think that's the best idea for him to take Derek F. But I think there's a good chance he could take Azah. He does have that alliance with the boys. But the only thing is, the past few days on the feeds, I've been reading that Azah has been saying, I'm going to take you. And she's trying to really get in on his good side. And like, apparently Big D and Azah are going head to head, like fighting. So I think there's a chance that Xavier could take her, but it's a slim chance. So probably Big D.
I mean, I think he has to know at this point, if he wins that final HOH.
Oh, he's good.
He's set. He won this game. I mean, it's always up to the jury. Things can change, but I think that the players who were there in the jury are going to respect the game that X played. Now realizing he threw competitions until he really started needing to do that for his own safety and in the game, and then when. From that point on, he just won everything. He dominated as a competition beast. I mean, he's really one of the players that you look at as a definition of a beast.
Literally. And he is also likable. The house likes him. Nobody, I felt that when I won competition after competition, people would get really mad at me. And they would just be like, oh, she's got to go. And, they find reasons to not like you. But like, he's able to win competition after competition. And people are like, oh, but I still love him. Oh, it's okay. We don't need to nominate him. And it's like, we don't want to vote him out. So I'm like, I'm confused by that. But he's been able to play these people and they love him. And, he's had like 3 showmance flirtmances.
He's just doing what he needs to do to reel in every last jury vote there, and kudos. I think X has this game. It's really his to lose in the live finale.
I mean, and there's no way. He's so smart. There's no way he'll not do well. He's been getting to know the people too. That was another thing I noticed about his game. What makes him so outstanding is that he's really gotten to know these people on a personal level. A lot of Big Brother players don't do that. I know I was in there not really doing that with people I didn't like, because I still let too much of my emotional, like Rachel head get to me. And he's able to like separate that and still get to know people, even if he's not like best friends with them. So I think he's really good at that.
I do want to get everybody set up for a big surprise that I feel it coming for the finale. I think that once the votes are locked in, Julie's going to do that thing where she's going to say, now we want to reveal about X and whoever he's sitting next to, what they really do. And then she reveals, about Azah or Derek, and then she goes, and X is an attorney, even though some of you suspected. I think Derek X did suspect it, or somebody in the house this season, and then reveal. And I think that'll be one of those moments of like, oh no, but it's all locked in, and they know they got. You know, they got lawyers.
They're gonna be real surprised. I think they're gonna feel got.
So this concludes part 1 of the Cookout, because we've had today Tiff, we've had Hannah, and we've had Kai. Now we've got 3 more to go, and those are our final 3 on Big Brother season 23. So the next time everybody sees us, Rachel, we're going to be chatting with our Big Brother winner and the 2 runners up. It's going to be a big show next time. So make sure you subscribe here to the YouTube channel, turn on notifications. You'll find out exactly when the new video drops. And we can't wait for you to join us, because we're going to have the winner in the house on the Secret Alliance. Where did Angel go? She wants to crash the whole party, and now at the end, come on back.
Exactly. There's a chipmunk or something. She had to go, look out for winning.
Off and running. Rachel, thanks so much. Have a great rest of the day. Enjoy that finale. Let's see if your predictions turn out. Have a good one.
Bye.